Hello there, my beautiful Scorpio signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is a traditional Celtic cross spread that I pull for you, and there's about 10 cards here that I'll go through when it comes to the tarot. And then after that, I will dive into a bunch of oracle cards that I have at the ready for you here, my beautiful Scorpios. So the energy that I was tapping into today was very much so guided by a particular song. That song is called Taylor Swift's King of My Heart, which I know everybody's like, Taylor Swift, yay, or Taylor Swift, nay. You know, you love her or you hate her, whatever, I don't care. But regardless, she has some great messages in her songs about emotional healing and emotional trauma, because that's how she transmutes her past experiences. So in today's reading, there's a lot about love moving forward and heartbreak and healing from the past relationships that you've been in, because you've done a lot of healing work, introspective work, and you now have a true understanding of self-love and self-worth. Or maybe if you're not there completely yet, Scorpio, you're definitely on the path to have successful, reciprocal, respectful love, and that is a slow-moving energy. Love that is securely attached usually begins from a place of friendship and non-judgment and a lot of other great things. So it does take time to establish that, and I have some guidance here from your higher self and your guides. Just remember that energy is fluid, so this could be your energy I'm talking about here, Scorpio, or somebody in your energy field. And also feminine and masculine energy is also fluid. So we have both yin and yang inside of us. It's the duality of the nature of the world that we live in. But I do feel like you are really tapping into both, which is a happy, healthy balance. So let's dive right into the tarot. Right away, your present energy is the Five of Swords. This is air energy, which is symbolic of the mind. So maybe you've been having some sort of mental battle when it comes to love or the expectation. But since this is crossing you, the Six of Swords is crossing you, this means there's progression here. So it's like you're trying to let go of maybe things from the past that you held on to as a safety mechanism, or like a comfort, like a, almost like a saboteur complex. And I feel like you're moving out of that mindset into something calmer that's going to be more peaceful, because Six of Swords is going from choppy waters into calm seas. And the basis and the foundation of everything here is the sun. This is Leo energy, but this is also tied to being happy and joyous and fulfilled within yourself first. And when you come from a place of being full and satiated, basically, I can't say it today, satiated, there we go. When your cup is full and it's overflowing, that's when you can truly give to others and not deplete yourself. I feel like in the past, though, you probably were maybe constantly fighting with someone, or having conflict and chaos in relationships because you weren't fully healed yet from some sort of trauma from the past. But in your present energy, again, you also have two beginner cards. You have the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. This to me means that there's an opportunity for sowing the seeds of creativity, and there's an opportunity to sow some tangible seeds when it comes to maybe a job, educational things, a hobby, or some sort of mindset, something that's going to shift your lifestyle. So I do feel like this is going to be positive, but it's about how much time and effort you want to put into those types of things. And that's just free will. So Scorpio, the near future, you have the Six of Pentacles. This is Libra energy. You might want to check out the Libra reading I just did, but I do feel like with this in your near future, this to me is like karmic balance, open-heartedness, kindness, generosity. So maybe you're giving or helping someone or volunteering in some sort of aspect. That could be what that is. But for the most part, for most of you, I think it's going to be like you're going to watch a little bit of karma play out for somebody who did you dirty. And, it's not that you can't feel good about it. It's just like whatever happens will just kind of be a confirmation to you that you made the correct decision. If you had to walk away from someone, or if you stopped fighting with them, and usually people who haven't healed after they've been in a relationship and they haven't healed their trauma and the drama, and they are a martyr and they blame you know, the crazy ex-girlfriend or the crazy ex-boyfriend for doing all the crazy stuff. Like, usually those people don't heal properly because they're still putting everything onto the other person instead of taking half of the responsibility for the relationship. So when they don't take accountability, then that's when you'll find yourself in a cycle of repeat. Now, what's in your control right now, Scorpio, is your mindset. So all of the knives that have been stabbed into your back, you can use them as weapons, or you can just intentionally take them out one by one and just move forward. And I do feel like that's what you're doing. It's just time consuming, and it's requiring a lot of strength for you. The next card I have is the Wheel of Fortune card. This is in your how people see you section. So people see that you, maybe they think that you're lucky. Like, maybe they're thinking you're lucky you got away, or you're lucky you something worse didn't happen. And sometimes that's not a very fair statement, or a triggering statement. So take that message as it resonates. But I do feel like people see you moving forward as well. That's a Jupiter energy. So Jupiter is usually the planet of luck. It is also like a Sagittarian kind of energy as well. So you might be dealing with Sagittarius or have Sagittarius in your chart. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Eight of Swords. This is about being trapped in a mindset, stuck in your thoughts, maybe afraid to move. I'm not sure which way to go exactly, but you are free to move around. But it's almost like a self-restricting feeling. And in your potential outcome, you have the Four of Cups. So you're a bit apathetic when it comes to love offers, and I don't feel like you're just apprehensive because you've been wounded in the past, and you're still healing that, and you're still processing that. And I still think that, you know, slow and steady is the way to go. Even if there's a king of your heart that has a lot of potential, it's always great to establish yourself as a good friend before anything. Now, the subconscious energy is Taurian energy, and it's the Hierophant number 5. So you might be studying something new, or just changing your traditional ways of thinking. Sometimes when we go through hardships or divorces or breakups, you know, people might cast judgment on us, like, oh, how could you break up? How could you get a divorce? You guys were together forever. You were so perfect, blah, 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 blah. But they don't really see all the fine details. They didn't see the inside. They just saw how the outside was presented. And with social media, like, that's really easy to skew opinions. So, you know, don't let anyone else's opinion or bias sway you from your own life choices, because you're the only one that's going to be able to help yourself. Now, Scorpio, that's what I have for tarot. Did I say the song that I was guided to listen to? Yeah, King of My Heart. I don't know why I had a blank there, but the oracle cards that I have for you are pretty much in alignment with everything I've said. I'm going to dive into this one first. This is about healing your heart chakra. You're a victim of love, probably, aren't we all? And it's just about but understanding why people are deceivers and betrayers, and why they, you know, live in this state of fear and shame and blame. And it usually stems from a place of insecurity. And once you can understand that, then you remove yourself from being a martyr and a victim, and then you take back your power again. And I think that's what's required here at this time. And empathy is vital, but empathy is also important to have for yourself, especially when you've been through rough situations. This one says you feel and understand the emotions of another in the service of love. So maybe you understood where someone was coming from, but still, even in the understanding of why or how someone did something, it doesn't mean that you have to accept toxic behavior. You can still understand but move on. You don't necessarily have to forgive anyone, you know, other than yourself, hopefully. But you know, some people just do have negative intentions, and that's an unfortunate byproduct of self-hatred, basically, because when you're coming from a place of fear and shame and self-loathing, that's when you inflict pain deliberately and intentionally and sadistically on other people. And, you know, if you're not in that mindset, which I'm assuming you're not here, Scorpio, because you're watching a tarot reading, which is basically a self-help avenue, then you are good to go. Like, you're solid. You have pure intentions. Now, the next card I have for you is number 14, Truth Be Told. This to me is the card, like when God closes a door, he opens a window. So there's another opportunity that's going to come in for you, better opportunities, at least 2 sort of opportunities, maybe coming in at the same time. So it might feel a little bit overwhelming, but just take things slow. And something about Gemini might be significant, but communication is key. So if there is an opportunity for love, or you're trying to grow something new with someone, just make sure you're communicating your wants and your needs and those sorts of things. Now, what I seek is seeking me. This is kind of a card of a law of attraction energy. So as you raise your energetic vibration, you're going to attract in more people that are more like you. And the higher you get on your elevation level and the higher you ascend, quite frankly, there's less and less people who can relate, because not a lot of people will do the introspective work and the healing work. So it's probably going to be rare that you have someone that matches your EQ or IQ or both. But I do feel like eventually you'll be in alignment, and you will find people who are like-minded as you. And the sun came out when I was saying that, and I'm holding the sun card right now. So I do feel like that's like a triple confirmation here, because you had the sun in your foundation as well. So a lot of joy, a lot of happiness to come. It says keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. There are light codes that we receive from the sun, so you might want to go outside. I think it's about 1 or 2 hours before, before dusk, and then 1 to 2 hours after dawn, you can get light codes, and it's supposed to help your eyes. I think there's a study done by, who was that fella? Oh, I can't think of his name. Look up Stanford studies when it comes to like sun gazing during dusk and dawn. I think there's a lot of good information there. You just have to go give it a Google, because I can't remember the fellow that talked about it. It was some podcast, but I can't remember his name. Huberman? Maybe Huberman. Andrew Huberman? Huberman? Is that right? Something like that. So check that out. Number 35 you have is advancing. So this says I'll have to read the front. Prince Kong used a gift of horses to breed a multitude. In the course of the day, he mated them 3 times. And like Prince Kong, brother of King Wu, who was rewarded for his loyalty with horses, you've been given gifts you must make the most of. Strength, inspiration, and popularity enable you to travel further and faster. Magnify your blessings by acting accordingly to seize the opportunity to advance and prosper. And what gifts and opportunities have you been given, and how can you make the most of them? Oh boy, number 35. That card is like a life gives you lemons. Are you going to make lemonade? That's totally up to you. Sometimes we get many different ingredients to try to make lemonade out of something, and sometimes we just get the basics. So some people might be gifted or blessed with more than others, and that's just part of the nature of this world. So you might have to, make lemonade out of the lemons that life gave you, and see what you can come up with. Now, the third eye intuition card I have for you is Act. It says, stop playing it safe. If there was a thing you've always wanted to do, but you've been too afraid to, what does your gut instinct tell you? And do you have too much to lose by not following a hunch? So maybe make a bucket list of something or a few things you'd like to do, just generally, even if you can't afford it at this time. It might just give you a little bit of inspiration, or maybe even lead you on a different trajectory towards one of these sorts of small endeavors where you're sowing the seeds of something new, where you're like, oh, I can't do that thing, but I could do this little thing that's local, and, I can make a weekend of it, like something small. And then lastly, you have the crone energy. I think that's the Jewish symbol at the bottom there as well. Hold on. Yeah, interesting. I just noticed that. That's the Star of David that the crow is holding, or the raven. I'm not sure if it's a raven or a crow. But the crone is a significant message right now. So Maiden Mother Crone is tied to the trilogy, which is tied to the Triskelion, which is tied to the Trinity, which is tied to the Triquetra, which is tied to the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It's tied to life, death, and rebirth. The crone is basically the end phase of the divine feminine tapping into her inner wisdom, because she's gone through the maiden and the mother energy, and now she's in her crone years, which is the wise old witch, essentially. But something about the Star of David, or David might be significant there, something about Judaism, the Torah, the tarot cards that I've been reading are actually tied to the Torah. So that is the first 5 books of the Christian Bible, basically. That's what the Torah is. And it's all very much so religiously aligned, even though a lot of religious people are terrified of tarot, which is kind of comical to me because it's just like ignorance is not bliss sometimes, and it makes me chuckle when people assume things incorrectly. And I've been there myself, where I was raised very religiously, and tarot was very taboo, and I never thought I would ever be a tarot reader or anything like that. But life takes you different ways, and I'm just along for the ride. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please again smash the like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the self-help, the self-work. If you feel guided, you can book a one-on-one coaching session on my website, or a personalized tarot reading on there as well. And make sure you check out my TikTok channel too. And I'll see you next time.